Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Madara from Naruto, Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z, and especially Ueno from A Silent Voice. All of these characters represent some of the most evil aspects of humanity. Some are more malicious than others on this list, Ueno clearly being the cruelest mastermind of them all, but there is more to being evil. Evil is about compassion, destruction, grace, obsession, intelligence, hatred, and everything in between. The symbol of evil has to be just that, a symbol of the group, someone who can represent what it means to be evil, what it means to rule the world with an iron fist just because you want to influence others to follow in your wicked path. All these signs lead to one character that truly is the greatest evil presence I would argue to date, at least in concept. And in this video I hope to make that case. I'm going to be exploring the symbol of evil himself, All For One. Before I get into the nuances of this character, I want to start by looking at his full introduction scene. He has been shown before, but this is the first time that the world gets to see All For One in years, which in turn is the first time the viewer gets to see him in action. They shroud his face as he walks out of the darkness. Nobody is able to shine a light to reveal him. He is the darkest part of the shadows, and only he is able to reveal himself. Even with one of the top heroes restraining him, he casually destroys multiple city blocks. Then the greatest part of the scene happens. And I'm not talking about how Deku and his squad were so scared they envisioned their own deaths, which is a good part. No, I'm talking about this moment, when he's hovering over everything. After watching this arc, this scene becomes 10 times more amazing, but even when I saw it, I knew it was something special. Floating above everything, the first full body shot we get of him is him posed like a hangman. There are many interpretations of the hangman symbolism, but one of them is that of self-sacrifice. This symbolism paired together with his almost exacerbated tone, alongside his life-preserving helmet to show that deep down he knows how this will end. He's using himself as a sacrificial pawn to help Shigaraki become a new symbol of evil. His original goal was clearly to stay in the shadows until Shigaraki was at a point to take his place, but the plan had to change. Alongside this, the music they chose was perfect. They chose opera music that strikes into the heart of the people listening, but the recording is also old, sort of vinyl-esque, with the imperfections being clearly audible. He is from a past time, a time of beautiful villainy, a time where he as a villain was the upper class of the people, just like how opera was a product for the rich in the past. Everyone in the group can barely think as their minds are flooded with their own debts. His very presence instills fear into people, and his name, All For One, plays into this as well. All Might's quirk is called One For All, but he doesn't use his quirk as his active name. All For One is the name he uses alongside it being his quirk's name. This disassociation is a part of his character, his persona. He's not really a person, he is a symbol. As the shitty Joker said, "I'm an idea." In a world full of uniquely designed characters, especially the villains, All For One is a very generic design by comparison. In his first showing, we can see that he's just a guy wearing a suit. This is the point. The person that is All For One is not the ultimate evil. It's what he represents and does to the world around him. That isn't completely true, but you get the point. Just from this one scene, so much is displayed about this character. A lot of what All For One is about what he does to other people, what he becomes, just like how All Might inspires people to be the best selves that they can be. All For One inspires people to just do as they will, to give in to those dark tendencies. Now, to speak more to his character, his relationship with All Might is extremely fascinating. Most people don't mention this, but there is a sympathetic quality to All For One. When he talked about his defeat, he talks about his comrades with All Might in a very disdained way. In the past, that fist crushed one after another of my comrades, and you were extolled as the symbol of peace. The view you had from atop our sacrifices, it must have been a great one. At first glance, most people would assume that All For One wants to destroy All Might solely because he destroyed his empire and defeated him, but there is clearly more to this. All Might in his mind killed All For One by his own hand, as shown earlier in the series. This makes me think that All Might killed the closest people to him. It would make sense knowing that All For One killed his master Nanashimura, but he could have just tried to only kill All For One. Assuming he didn't kill his comrades, it still shows more of the full picture. All For One, just like All Might, has a vendetta for what was done to the people he seems to have cared about. So he went to such great lengths to groom the perfect person to destroy the symbol of peace. There isn't anything shown to the viewer from the past that shows if All For One is more nuanced than his title as a symbol of evil would suggest, but I think there might be at least some revealed in the future. He may not be the most malicious or destructive, but he has quite the philosophy and intelligence tied to him. If you enjoyed, subscribe and check out the playlist for more videos like this one. See you next time.